Okay, welcome everyone here in the room and over Zoom to the Town of Lewisboro Town Board meeting for October 15th. For those in the room, the exits are towards the front of the building and to the rear of the building. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so Andrew couldn't make it tonight, so it's just the four of us. We'll start with public comment. Public comment number one. Go ahead, Beth.
Beth Uretsky, Golden's Bridge. I'd like to thank the Lewisboro Town Board for waiving the town park fee for us. This allowed our small group of 6 people to utilize the park for our October 7th memorial event. We were told approximately 200 people joined us for an evening filled with great interfaith clergy, words of wisdom and hope, and most of all, unity. Unity is the key word here, as it's been a long time since we really had unity in our community. Lewisboro needs to be unified once again, and we need the leader of this town to step up really to the plate and start hitting home runs. As a side note, go Yankees. So I ask you, what are you willing to do as a board with Tony? What actions are you willing to take moving forward to bring back unity in our community? I know the board sometimes will ask residents for suggestions, so in trying to be proactive, I came up with a few. When a board member is invited to an event, at least the board member can do is respond. We had a board member who was invited who didn't even have the decency to respond at all. There's no obligation to go, especially if they don't support the event. But the right thing to do professionally as a town board member is at least to respond. Do the right thing and do your job. Here's another idea. As a Lewisboro town board member, how about that particular board member suggesting a compromise when they know there's an issue between that board member and a growing number of residents disgruntled with that board member. We've already named a few suggestions. Now it's the board member's turn. Do the right thing and do your job. Create an environment where residents will walk away feeling that they are safe, both physically and emotionally. We not only felt we needed police protection on the October 7th event, but we also sought out extra security to support the event as well. Why, might you ask? It's because a particular board member has allowed a non-Lewisboro resident friend, quote, on social media to call Lewisboro residents disgusting, nasty names. And I've been told there's also proof that this friend has threatened our residents. That should never be allowed. Let's also add that the extra security requested a picture of this friend so that way they could be on the lookout. I also heard that evening that picture was again shared with our police, so that way they were informed as well. Please go back to the drawing board and modify the employee handbook to include stricter social media rules and regulations. And here's the key, they have to be enforceable. These are 4 examples. Now it's the board's turn, and Tony, as the supervisor, named leader, please start by leading by example, start bringing back unity into our community. We need it for everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone over Zoom? Janet?
Yes. Simone O'Connor, I'm inviting you to unmute.
Good evening. We're celebrating Italian Heritage Month on October 26th, beginning at 4 p.m. at the Horse and Hound. We are not Juneteenth or Pride, so we get nothing from the town board. We would love everyone to join us, and if so inclined, please send donations through Zelle to 518-928-6862 or reach out to me. The planning board, as I understand, is an advisory committee to the town board. They are having a hearing on Oak Ridge building Vistas at Villa regarding building them where the parking lot is at the same time as this meeting. Perhaps this town board meeting could have been tomorrow or just another evening. I was interested in attending the hearing at the planning board, but felt it more important to speak here regarding the continued comments posted on Councilman Welch's Facebook page. We had a meaningful interfaith memorial service that Beth spoke about on October 7th. We honored and remembered all of the kidnaps, hostages, murdered, still being held captive in Israel. That began with a terrorist attack a year ago on October 7th. Dan's response in writing was, he was left no choice but to consider us all racist. You voted yes to waive the fee at the memorial, Dan. Do you consider yourself a racist? The board is racist, we're racist, here a racist, there's a racist, everyone but you. Do better, Councilman Welch. It's not going to be tolerated. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. Johnny with a Pad Pro, if you could state your full name.
Hi, this is Kathy Deutsch in Vista. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. And again, thank you to the town board for supporting our event on 10/7. We had many more people than we expected, which was a beautiful sight as a Lewisboro resident. But one thing I will add, and I will also echo Beth's comments about needing extra security, because residents were coming up to us or reaching us privately saying that they had fearful feelings about gathering outdoors in a public arena due to the posts on Dan's page, particularly those of Jennifer Scarlott, who is not a resident and lives, I believe, in Massachusetts. She has called us Nazis, murderers, and genocidal maniacs, and has said we should all be dead. I don't blame them for being afraid, and our photograph, as Beth stated, was photographed among the police and the additional security. Many members afterwards came up and thanked us for the event and said they were so glad not to see Dan Welch there because they don't know how they would have acted towards him. They are angry and they are afraid. I have been canvassing, and many households that I have knocked on doors have also expressed this concern and have been saying, why is he allowed to get away with this? What is Tony doing? This is not just about politics. This is about safety. This is about public perception. And I am not giving up that something can be done to curtail his Facebook posting. Again, I ask that if he keeps his position on his page, that comments cannot be closed. That is censorship. That is the removal of the First Amendment rights of constituents, whereas his surrogate, Ms. Scarlott, is allowed to post freely. This is not, as we say in my house, kosher. It must change. Additionally, I am asking that Tony condemn his statements. People are upset. And if every other board member, Richard, Mary, and Andrea, have condemned them, why have you not? That is my question. It is very important to distinguish yourself as a leader and as somebody who understands the value of keeping a community safe. You may say, Dan just doesn't like war. Well, that's horseshit. He doesn't just not want war. He wants his politics strewn on his Facebook page, which is harming our community. I will leave you with this request to condemn his statements and move forward with a viable employee handbook that is enforceable to segregate his posts between personal
Thank you, Kathy.
and town.
Kathy.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. Muting. Carol Cernak, I'm asking you to unmute.
Hi, it's Carol Cernak, South Salem, New York. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I agree with what everybody is saying about Dan. I mean, I don't know what skin you have in the game other than your energy program, but you know, just back off and go away. You know, at this election time, we don't need all this other controversy and stress. I honestly don't know what your game is, so just go away. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, Carol. Kevin Uretsky, I'm asking you to unmute.
Good evening, Kevin Uretsky, Golden's Bridge. Can you hear me okay, Janet?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. Just want to make sure the Bluetooth was working. I want to thank the members of the town board who attended the October 7th memorial ceremony. Thank you for coming. I'm even a little jealous because I had to work and I couldn't be there. And I know how much hard work went into it from the organizers. So thank you. And thank you again for waiving the fee so that that could be held. All right, let's get right to the issue here. I'm not going to go down the same road that we've gone down before and over and over and over and over again concerning political views. But here's the bottom line. We know Dan wasn't there. Fine. You didn't want to come? Fine. That's your choice as an individual. However, you were also a town councilman, meaning that because you did not respond to the invitation that was sent to you, you, in principle, totally disregarded an entire segment of the town's population. That it can't be argued. So therefore, you are disavowing members of this town's population. So here's the bottom line of where we are. You know, you can say that, you know, people have attacked you and you've been treated unfairly and this and that and the other thing. And I understand the back and forth has now gone on for close to 13 months. And let's not rehash that. But here's the bottom line. That's the price you pay for putting your name on a ballot. You don't like what people have to say to you? Two choices. Either resign, which we know you're not going to do, or don't represent yourself as a town council person on your Facebook page, and you can say whatever the heck you want. Those are the choices. It's that simple. So I'm not going to rehash again, you know, who said what and who feels what and who believes what and all that other stuff. We know where everybody stands in the community. But you don't get to sit there behind that table and totally disregard a portion of the community. So it's very simple. I encourage the board as a whole, as several other people have said, and I think this is of the utmost urgency, to adopt the social media policy as soon as possible, like immediately. I know you tabled it a couple of meetings ago. Get it done immediately, post it on the website, on the town website for everybody to see, so everybody knows what the rules are, and then we can all move forward. Because unfortunately, we're all going to remain stuck in the mud until that happens. So that's it. That's the pragmatism of it, boys and girls. So it's up to you guys how and if you want to move forward. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Perfect timing, Kevin. Thank you. And that's it.
Okay, thanks, Janet. Okay, next we have communications. I actually had a couple of communication pieces, but I left them in a folder up in my office, but I think I kind of remember what the content was. So one of them was an email actually referencing our, this is a person who has played 30 years in our Honor True tennis courts. And over the years, as the season progressed, the courts got more and more deteriorated. For the first time this year, the courts have played very well, was how she commented. So there was an email to Nicole in Parks and Rec thanking them for the maintenance that they're doing with the tennis courts. So that was good to hear. The other one was an email, someone that was interacting with our tax receiver and then sent a follow-up email to say that it's been a pleasure to work ever since they moved into town to work with the town folks, including our tax office and our building department. So kudos to both departments for supporting our residents and making them happy. So thank you very much. Next is the consent agenda. I'd like to go ahead and motion that we approve the minutes of September 23rd, 2024, and approve the monthly reports, which include the building department report and the police department report. Do I have a second?
Second, can we do that? Can we do it? Second,
This discussion?
Actually, I got another question on the building department report. That big bump there, the $400,000. Are there by any chance costs associated with that too? Was that a commercial? So we were gonna go outside for help for some of that stuff.
Yeah, no, this is my understanding, and I don't know if Kevin's on. If he is, we can ask him, but I know there was a pretty large residential project.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's a
it's
good-
not commercial.
it's not commercial.
It's not commercial, no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
spoke to him about it last,
Yeah.
when he was here last, it is.
It was
Gotcha. All
not
right.
commercial, so it didn't have to be outsourced.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, this one is not outsourced.
Did
no.
you want to talk to him? He's got a.
Yeah, if he wants to,
Well,
yeah,
I-
let him chime in.
Kevin? Kelly?
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, so there was no addition.
Hold on.
Lot of background noise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Try
you are correct. There were no additional fees that went with that monthly total. One was the Walkabout Country Club. We had some fees in there, and some other large single-family houses. But yeah, no, that was absolutely all internal, no additional charge. We've only used our outside vendor once this year.
Right.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
No problem.
Yeah, so right now we've exceeded the revenue from all of 2023 year to date. So. Okay. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah. All right, next we have new business, no old business. So the new business, the first item is appointing Matt Judah to the Town Pool Advisory Committee for a term expiring December 31st, 2026.
Oh, so moved.
Second,
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Next is a resolution appointing Larry Mangle to the Housing Committee for a term expiring December 31st, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The third one we're gonna hold off on because we didn't get the proposal yet from KSCJ for this is for the Bridge New York RFQ for the Oskalita culvert.
Oh, we just, those two were committee appointments, and we moved on to we didn't vote on them.
he's saying that we're skipping it because we didn't get the
We're skipping that
paperwork.
one.
Right, but do you want to finish up the appointments?
We
did.
just voted
Oh,
on
did
them.
it?
Yeah, so Kellett Sessions, we're waiting for a proposal on for them to develop the bid spec that's gonna go out to the consultants that are on the state's list. And these are consultants that the state recommends for doing the design work for the culvert replacement. So hopefully we'll have that soon and we can go ahead and move that forward.
Are they gonna be able to start construction before, in this year or?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, probably in the spring, I would say. And again, this is related to the Bridge New York grant that we received, right? Okay, next item is the renewal of the cabaret license for Le Chateau for a period of 1 year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next is public comment number 2 for new business only. Anybody here? Anybody on over Zoom?
No.
No, okay, great. So next is approval of claims. So I'd like to go ahead and motion that we approve claims.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, polling of the board. Dan, I'll start with you.
I saw the traffic about this truck that highway department wants to buy.
Yep.
We can't approve that contingent, we're waiting on the IMA, but can we just go ahead and approve it, or it's not that big of a rush?
Yeah, it's not that big of a rush, so we agreed to the best thing to do is wait for the IMA, and Greg's working with the attorney and.
Yeah, I saw
Southeast.
Mr. Stevens on Thursday. He was unaware of the particular transaction,
Okay,
but that Superintendent Burdick does prefer that there are intermunicipal agreements when there is a sale of an asset to another municipality.
Okay.
So I anticipate that I'm going to see it in time for you to act on it at the next time you're
next
having a
board meeting.
meeting,
okay,
28th or whatever.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll have it.
okay.
All right, yeah, it's just concerned that maybe there was an opportunity slipping, but that's fine. The next thought I had was just to kind of register with the board that I'd like to get organized to go out to traffic engineering firms to solicit proposals to help us scope out projects for the Vista Gold's Bridge, hopefully Cross River too. I don't know what we have there, because that's kind of where we got hung up on our last discussions, and the bond and all that was that people wanted to see a concrete scope. But if we don't actually take action to craft that scope and get something in shape that can be then taken out to figure out the financing on, then it'll never move forward. So like to pull together a short list of firms and a kind of an RFI, start talking to them.
Okay.
The scope of which would be what?
Well, I think what we'd want to do is have them go in, we know the Vista and Golden Bridge folks have been thinking and working on these things for a long time. I think if we get an engineering consultant to sit with them, go through all their ideas and help them, that's practical, that's not practical. Here, this is a good, first project for you. They can work together and scope something out. Again, that was where we ended last time, and in not making any particular headway on that. So I think there's no question that we need to take that up and work on those scopes, and we need professional help for that.
Is that similar to what was done with Golden Bridge? Remember the complete streets where the county funded that? Was that?
Well, that was, in some sense, but that was a sort of a study of that whole geographic area, laying out the issues and potential, ways to address those issues. This would undoubtedly sort of pick up on that and then try to, put together something that would comprise a scope and we'd probably want that same group to, if just to spec it out, so it's got bid ready,
right?
Specs for it, or else, what do you do with that? You can't really go forward without that.
Just having some kind of scope from traffic engineer, does that have any positive or negative or kind of neutral effect referable to grant opportunities?
I was actually gonna say that with the New York State DOT, the TAP grant, Transportation Alternative, is that what it stands for? TAP?
Yes.
Transportation Program, yeah.
Yeah.
The output of this engineering work could go into the spec for or the application itself.
Can only help.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're not there right now, before anything goes out, I'll bring it to you guys and you can take a look at it. Just kind of a heads up that I think that's kind of where we're stuck. And if we don't, start to work on that particular, obstacle that we won't get anything done. And lastly, just welcome to Annie to taking up the financial help.
Mary.
What's Annie's last name?
Burnham.
Burnham.
I would like to thank Ms. Burnham as well, as our new controller. She has professional experience and we're looking forward to working with her. It was an honor to attend the memorial on the 7th and to be included in its happening. It's always good to build a sense of community. I also want to thank the highway department for all the work that they've been doing and gently remind people once again, if the road is closed, please do not use the road for the safety of the people who are making the roads strong for us. And, you know, as far as community goes, just like to try and encourage people, including those sitting at this table, to think before they speak or to think before they post. There's a big difference between intent and impact. Sometimes you can't know how it's going to impact the people who read it. And there's a lot of people who have been hurt and it's awful, and a lot of people who have died, and we all mourn their loss. But we have to work together and live together and take care of each other. So I would urge everyone to be mindful. And that's all I have for tonight.
Okay, Rich.
I was honored and privileged to be there for October 7th. It was the best of what our community has to offer. It was unifying, it was positive, it was inclusive, and it was very meaningful. And I'm glad that it was there, and just really so pleased that there was such a terrific turnout from people all across the community, all different backgrounds and faiths. So it's just a wonderful thing to see, and just congratulations and thank you to all the organizers of that. October 26th, we have a celebration of Italian Heritage Month, 4 p.m. at the Horse and Hound. Want to promote that. I'm glad that it's on, I think, a Saturday.
It is.
Which generally
For those of us who work during.
3 p.m.
Right, generally works better for me than
4 p.m. Okay.
yeah, 4 p.m. So come out and support that event. I will the intention is to be there and financially support it as I have in the past. And
Yeah, can you interrupt?
yes, you may.
October 26th is also the last day to register to vote in the Great Empire State. So if you're not registered to vote, check out the Board of Elections for Westchester County and you can get your form online.
And last but not least, welcome aboard to our new control. So best of luck and success in the new position. Thank you, Tom.
Okay. Okay, yeah, the Vista Fire Department had a pizza night. Sunset Fire Department had their open house, and I missed them both, unfortunately. I had conflicts, but I hear,
The pizza was phenomenal.
yeah, so I apologize. I was really looking forward to that, but something came up.
That's right.
Yeah, Annie, so yeah, we had Sarah, our former controller, moved on. And so we were lucky enough to find Annie Burnham. And so for the past 3 weeks, we had a little bit of a gap, and I'll have to thank Kerry for all the work that she's done in helping me when I put the controller hat on. And also Cheryl Blamers, and who divides her time between highway and finance. So it's been a great team effort. And you know, we got done what needed to be done in the absence of a controller. So thank you all very much. Thanks, Kerry.
Thank you, Kerry.
Yeah, the Vista, that was another thing I missed, and I had it on my calendar, and I had said I was gonna attend, and I didn't attend the Vista Walk on Route 123. So this ties into what Dan was saying about the traffic engineering, the study. So I think that's an exciting project, and we just have to figure out how to move it ahead.
That walk is the first Sunday of the month, so you can check their website out.
Are they gonna do it again?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna be a
okay.
monthly thing.
Okay, good, okay. So, yeah, so thank you, folks from the Vista Hamlet Stewardship Council for organizing that. The 10-7 event, yeah, the memorial was well attended. I was glad to be there. Nice to see the turnout. So thank you to the organizers for putting that together. And the other thing I have is Highway has been doing some work on Brundage Drive in Goldensbridge, and I know some of the folks there have been reaching out to me saying they want their roads paved, and it's been years and it's never been paved. And so one of the things that we need to do before we pave is fix the stuff underneath that needs to be fixed, like storm drains. So Highway is busy doing that. We did quite a lot of work. I think that there's still quite a bit more to do. And John's been posting some of those pictures on Instagram. So hopefully, yeah, with the new drainage pipes going in and the new catch basins, and we'll be in a position to be able to pave a good section of that road
I feel like anything else
next year.
we need a good infrastructure foundation. before
Right.
we can continue. So-
Exactly.
The right order,
Yes.
like other communities.
So I think that's yeah, that's all I had.
Say that.
I'll say that. Yeah, still, yeah. All right, next is our town board meeting. We have a meeting October 28th at 7:30 PM at the townhouse. We are working on budgets, and hopefully we may divide that meeting up into a work session, a budget work session, so I'll let everyone know. So hopefully we'll get a tentative budget in place in time for delivery to the town clerk by October 26th, is it?
That's a Saturday.
Yeah.
And we don't.
Or is it? It's in my, yeah, I didn't bring my folder, but it's, yeah, I thought it was, yeah. So anyway, we'll get the dates right, and then we'll set the public hearing for the budget and for the potential tax cap override. So we have some work to do on that.
I forget the terminology, that's the supervisor's.
Supervisor's
Yeah,
budget.
whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, that gets presented to the clerk, and the clerk presents it to the town board on the 26th, I believe.
It's the one that for the pitch.
Yeah, and then we review it and we sharpen our pencils and. Yeah. Okay, so now I'd like to go ahead and motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel issues and a real estate issue.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you all for coming out here in the room and over Zoom.